Naninikluhod po ang aming mga puso, lumalapit, humihingi ng tawad sa anumang kasalanan, sa isip, sa salita o sa gawa. Patawarin niyo po kami at linisin ang iyong banal na dugo. At hayaan niyo pong makalapit kami sa iyong trono ng biyaya. Inilalapit po namin ang Senado at ang aming mga gagawin dito sa bulwagang ito. Tulungan mo po kami at samahan. Bigyan mo po kami ng katalinuhan, kalakasan, at maging lakas ng loob para gawin ang tama. Ang Diyos, Ama naming sumasalangit, Diyos na may gawa ng langit at lupa, Diyos na nagsabing kung may 2 o 3 na nagkakatipon sa kanyang pangalan, siya ay nasa kanilang kalagitnaan. Naninikluhod po ang aming mga puso, lumalapit, humihingi ng tawad sa anumang kasalanan, sa isip, sa salita o sa gawa. Patawarin niyo po kami at linisin ang iyong banal na dugo. At hayaan niyo pong makalapit kami sa iyong trono ng biyaya. Inilalapit po namin ang Senado at ang aming mga gagawin dito sa bulwagang ito. Tulungan mo po kami at samahan. Bigyan mo po kami ng katalinuhan, kalakasan, at maging lakas ng loob para gawin ang tama. Panalangin po namin ang aming mga manggagawang Pilipino na kumakayod araw-araw, lalo na po ang ating mga OFWs na patuloy na nakikipagsapalaran sa ibang bansa. Nawa po yakapin niyo sila ng iyong pagmamahal at puspusin mo po sila ng lakas ng loob na labanan ang pangungulila, lalo na po sa panahong ito na nalalapit na ang Kapaskuhan. Para po sa aming mga kababayang naiipit sa gitna ng ingay at gulo ng politika, Panginoong Diyos, pagkalooban mo po sila ng kahinahunan at katwiran at palaging isaalang-alang kung ano po ang makakabuti sa nakararaming Pilipino. Sa kabila po, Panginoon, ng bagong mundong nilikha ng social media, algorithm at maging artificial intelligence, nawa po'y tulungan mo ang bawat isa sa amin na laging kumapit sa katotohanan at hindi po sa mga kathang-isip at fake news na pilit inililigaw at ginugulo ang aming bayan. Sinabi mo po sa aklat ng Juan, Kapitulo 8, talatang 32, malalaman nyo ang katotohanan at ang katotohanan ang magpapalaya sa inyo. Patatagin mo po ang aming pananampalataya at bigyan ng kaliwanagan ng isip nang sa tuwin ay ipaglaban po namin at manindigan kami sa tama. Sa araw na ito, anibersaryo ng pagkakatatag ng Malolos Congress, nawa po ay magbigay ng daan sa unang Republika ng Asya. Nawa po ay ipaalala mo sa bawat isa sa amin ang halaga ng demokrasya at pagtalima sa boses ng taong bayan. Muli po, maingat naming ibinabalik sa iyo, O Diyos, ang lahat ng kapurihan, lahat ng kaluwalhatian. Sa tanging pangalan po ng aming Panginoong Hesus, ang lahat po'y makiisa at magsabing Amen. Thank you.
The Secretary will please call the roll.
Call of members. The Honorable Senator Aquino, Senator Cayetano Alan, Senator Cayetano Pia, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Ejercito, Senator Escudero, Senator Estrada, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Go, Senator Ontiveros, Senator Lacson, Senator Lapid, Senator Legarda, Senator Marcoleta, Senator Marcos, Senator Padilla, Senator Pangilinan, Senator Tulfo Erwin, Senator Tulfo Rafi, Senator Villanueva, Senator Villar Camille, Senator Villar Mark, Senator Zubiri. The Senate President is present.
Marcoleta and Villar.
With 22 senators present, the chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Before we take up other business matters of the day, we'd like to greet our Secretary of the Senate, Secretary Ray Bantug, a happy birthday.
Uy.
It was his birthday yesterday, Mr. President. Yes, happy birthday to our Secretary. And also, if I may also greet the guests that are with us today, Mr. President, we have Mayor Pablo Lorenzo of my district in Quezon, Bukidnon, who's here with us. Together with, there are also Vice Mayor's League of Occidental Mindoro, led by Vice Mayor Sani Javier, is with us. Guest of Senator Ejercito. Senator Gatchalian's guests are LG officials from Apari, Cagayan, led by Mayor Dominador Dayag, from all the way up north of Apari. We also have guest of Senator Lapid, Mayor Ronald Cosico of Paete, Laguna. Guest of Senator Kiko Pangilinan is Mayor Jorico Bayawa of Conner, Apayao, together with Vice Mayor Gab Villasin of Talisay, Negros Occidental. We have also with us guests of Senator Risa Ontiveros, grade 11 students from Notre Dame of Greater Manila, together with their teachers, Mr. Celis and Mr. Malquitor. And we also have guests of Senator S.P. Soto, the Senate President, Attorney Francisco Gacal. He's the City Legal Officer of General Santos City. We also have guests of our Minority Floor Leader, Senator Alan Cayetano, SK officials from Taguig Youth and Sports Group from Puerto Princesa, Palawan. Officials from Taguig, rather, and Youth and Sports Group from Puerto Princesa, Palawan. We also have with us another guest of the Senate President, Commissioner Bong Ku of the Philippine Sports Commission, who is also a bemedaled bowling champion, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we dispense the reading of the Journal of the 19th session, Wednesday, September 10, 2025, and consider the same as approved, Mr. President.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Mr. President, I move that we proceed with the reference of business.
Secretary will proceed with the reference of business.
Bills on first reading. Senate number 1201, anak declaring Sitio Timoga in Buruun, Iligan, Lanao del Norte, an ecotourism zone, to be known as the Timoga Ecotourism Zone, appropriating funds therefore. Senator Marcos.
Referred to the Committees on Tourism, Environment, and Finance.
1202, anak declaring the province of Benguet as the strawberry capital of the Philippines. Senator Marcos.
Referred to the Committee on Agriculture, Food, and Agrarian Reform.
1203, anak providing for a new visa category for digital nomads, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. Senator Marcos.
To the Committees on Justice, Ways and Means, and Finance.
1204, anak providing for free maintenance medication, vitamins, and supplements for senior citizens. Senator Ontiveros.
To the Committees on Social Justice and Health.
Senate number 1205, anak establishing the National Coastal Greenbelt Program, providing funds therefore and for other purposes. Senator Aquino.
To the Committees on Environment, Natural Resources, Ways and Means, and Finance.
1206, anak governing civil liability and compensation claims for nuclear damage, repealing certain sections of RA 5207, the Atomic Energy Regulatory Liability Act of 1968, as amended. Senator Aquino.
Referred to the Committees on Science and Technology, Energy, and Finance.
1207, anak expanding the coverage of the National Feeding Program and mandating the procurement from local or small-scale farmers and future folk in the implementation of the National Feeding Program, amending RA 11037, the Masustansyang Pagkain para sa Batang Pilipino Act. Senator Villar M.
To the Committees on Basic Education and Agriculture.
1208, anak mandating the establishment of Muslim prayer rooms in all public offices and establishments. Senator Villar M.
To the Committee on Cultural Communities.
1209, anak establishing the e-books for the barangay program and providing funds therefore. Senator Villar M.
To the Committees on Basic Education, Local Government, and Finance.
1210, anak institutionalizing the pangkabuhayan sa pagbangon at ginhawa program and appropriating funds therefore. Senator Villar M.
To the Committees on Trade, Economic Affairs, and Finance.
1211, anak strengthening the Basis Conversion and Development Authority, amending for the purpose RA 7227, the Basis Conversion Development Act of 1992, as amended. Senator Villar M.
Referred to the Committees on Government Corporations, National Defense, and Finance.
1212, anak establishing canteens in public schools, providing healthy, balanced, and nutritious meals. Senator Villar M.
To the Committees on Basic Education, Public Works, Ways and Means, and Finance.
1213, anak institutionalizing the nutrition care process as part of medical care in the Philippines. Senator Ejercito.
Referred to the Committees on Health and Finance.
Senate number 1214, anak to adopt integrated coastal management as a national strategy to ensure the sustainable development of the coastal and marine environment and resources, and to establish supporting mechanisms for its implementation and provide funds therefore. Senator Ejercito.
To the Committees on Environment, Ways and Means, and Finance.
1215, anak creating an independent People's Commission to investigate anomalies in all government infrastructure projects, defining its powers and functions, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. Senator Soto III.
To the Committees on Justice, Civil Service, and Finance.
1216, an act prohibiting exploitative and deceptive practices in the buying or selling of admission tickets and providing penalties therefore, Senator Tulfo E.
To the Committees on Justice and Trade.
1217, an act strengthening the Philippine Coast Guard by introducing policy and organizational reform, Senator Tulfo E.
To the Committees on Public Services, National Defense, Ways and Means, and Finance.
1218, an act amending Republic Act number 11223, the Universal Healthcare Act, and for other purposes, Senator Tulfo E.
To the Committees on Health, Migrant Workers, and Finance.
1219, an act upgrading the minimum salary grade level of nurses from salary grade 15 to 19, amending Section 32 of RA 9173, the Philippine Nursing Act of 2002, Senator Zubiri.
To the Committees on Civil Service, Health, and Finance.
1220, an act strengthening the Philippine healthcare system to achieve efficiency, equity, and inclusivity, and to improve public health emergency preparedness, amending for the purpose RA 11223, the Universal Healthcare Act, Senator Villar C.
To the Committees on Health, Migrant Workers, and Finance.
1221, an act providing for the Magna Carta for ambulant vendors, Senator Villar C.
To the Committees on Social Justice and Local Government.
1222, an act defining the rights of women deprived of liberty in jails and correctional facilities and providing funds for their enforcement, Senator Villar C.
To the Committees on Justice, Women, and Finance.
1223, an act ensuring that senior high school graduates under the K-12 program are equipped with the knowledge, training, and skills demanded in the labor market, enhancing their employability and competitiveness, promoting the affirmative hiring of every graduate of basic education in the private and public sectors, creating the Batang Magaling Councils to strengthen multi-stakeholder collaboration and support for their employment, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes, Senator Tulfo R.
To the Committees on Basic Education, Higher Education, Ways and Means, and Finance.
1224, establishing a digitalized overseas Filipino workers welfare and monitoring system, appropriating funds and for other purposes, Senator Tulfo R.
To the Committees on Migrant Workers and Finance.
1225, instituting a comprehensive national care and support plan for children with special needs, providing for their rights and welfare, appropriating funds and for other purposes, Senator Tulfo R.
To the Committees on Health, Women, and Finance.
1226, an act mandating the proper installation and maintenance of overhead electric distribution, communication lines and structures by all electric distribution, cable, and telecommunications companies, Senator Tulfo R.
To the Committees on Public Services and Public Works.
1227, an act mandating higher accident and life insurance coverage for construction workers and holding contractors liable for workplace accidents, Senator Tulfo R.
To the Committee on, referred to the Committee on Labor.
1228, an act modernizing the Bureau of Immigration, defining its powers and functions, expanding, rationalizing, and further professionalizing its organization, upgrading the compensation and benefits of its officials and employees, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes, Senator De La Rosa.
To the Committees on Justice, Civil Service, and Finance.
1229, regulating and modernizing the practice of medical technology in the Philippines, repealing Republic Act numbers 5527 and 6138 and PD numbers 498 and 1534, providing funds therefore and for other purposes, Senator De La Rosa.
To the Committees on Civil Service, Health, and Finance.
1230, an act increasing the personal economic relief allowance granted to government employees to 5,000 pesos and appropriating funds therefore, Senator Lapid.
To the Committees on Civil Service, Government Reorganization, and Finance.
1231, an act promoting Philippine indigenous and traditional writing systems and providing for their protection, preservation, and conservation, Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committee on Culture.
1232, an act providing for rules and plea bargaining agreement in criminal cases, providing penalties in violation therefore and for other purposes, Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committee on Justice and Human Rights.
1233, an act mandating the establishment of a Population Development Office in all provinces, cities, and municipalities, amending Section 488A of RA 7160, the Local Government Code of 1991 as amended, Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committee on Local Government.
1234, an act promoting the use of renewable energy technology in homes and strengthening the implementation of the net metering program, amending RA 9513, the Renewable Energy Act of 2008, Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committee on Energy.
1235, an act providing free insurance for covered applicants of overseas employment certificates, appropriating funds and for other purposes, Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committees on Migrant Workers and Finance.
1236, an act granting the Philippine Sports Commission the authority to acquire real properties by other modes, amending for the purpose Section 7 of RA 11214, the Philippine Sports Training Center Act, Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committee on Sports.
1237, an act reducing the recoverable system loss rate and for other purposes, Senator Lapid.
To the Committees on Energy and Public Services.
1238, an act establishing a rental subsidy program for informal settler families, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes, Senator Lapid.
To the Committees on Urban Planning, Social Justice, and Finance.
1239, an act further amending PD 1606 as amended by RA 7975, RA 8249, and RA 10660, establishing territorial jurisdiction of RTCs on cases involving corrupt practices and acts committed by public officials, Senator Lapid.
Referred to the Committee on Justice.
1240, an act expanding the grant of 20% discount and exemption from the value-added tax to senior citizens to include medicines, supplements, vitamins, herbal products, and formulated milk medically duly prescribed or recommended by physicians, Senator Lapid.
To the Committees on Social Justice, Ways and Means.
1241, an act institutionalizing support mechanisms for public school teachers and school personnel in matters of student discipline and mechanisms for classroom management and providing for their protection on cases related thereto, Senator Lapid.
To the Committees on Basic Education and Women.
1242, an act providing for a national policy and regulatory framework for the Philippine telemedicine industry, promoting the delivery of health services using information and communications technologies and for other purposes, Senator Lapid.
To the Committees on Health and Civil Service.
1243, an act institutionalizing the promotion of integrated urban agriculture and other emerging, innovative, sustainable agricultural production practices and technologies in cities and other strategic areas throughout the country to address food security concerns, appropriating funds and for other purposes, Senator Lapid.
To the Committees on Agriculture, Ways and Means, and Finance.
1244, an act establishing the standards for a living wage, amending for the purpose PD 442, otherwise known as the Labor Code of the Philippines, as amended, Senator Tulfo R.
To the Committee on Labor.
1245, an act enhancing the universal access to quality tertiary education, act amending for this purpose RA 10931, Senator Ontiveros.
To the Committees on Higher Education and Finance.
1246, an act defining and penalizing espionage and other offenses against national security, Senator De La Rosa.
To the Committee on National Defense.
1247, an act establishing the comprehensive chemical engineering law, appropriating funds therefore, Senator De La Rosa.
To the Committees on Civil Service and Finance. And
1248,
Government Organization and Finance.
1248, an act granting survivorship benefits to the surviving legitimate spouse and dependent children of a deceased retired chairperson, commissioner, or labor arbiter of the National Labor Relations Commission, appropriating funds therefore, Senator De La Rosa.
To the Committees on Civil Service, Labor, and Finance.
1249, an act establishing environmental units in every banking institution to assess the environmental component of loan applications, Senator Legarda.
To the Committees on Banks and Environment.
1250, an act creating the Environmental Protection and Enforcement Bureau under the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, providing for its powers and functions and appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes, Senator Legarda.
To the Committees on Civil Service, Environment, and Finance. The Majority Leader is requesting that we take up the additional revenues of business a bit later.